Hello, friends, and welcome to yet again a new pause talk today. And today we have our friend Samah with us. Hello, Samah. Welcome to pause talk.
Hello, Monica. How are you?
All good, dear. So,
Thank you for
Samah is
having
at
me today.
yes, Samah. We are also fortunate to have you here, and so happy to have you on pause talk. And Samah is joining from Cairo, Egypt. Samah is a certified trainer and she is also a life coach. And I now will request Sama to introduce herself.
Okay, so actually, yes, as Monica said, I'm Samah from Egypt. I'm certified life coach, certified mindfulness and happiness coach also. And before that, I got certified trainer. And um, after I finished my mindfulness and journey, I joined to be certified mindfulness instructor for teenage and also licensed partner coach for happiness at workplace. Before that, I was working in the HR for 15 years. And yes, this is all about my profession.
Yeah, but this is just a small glimpse which I just heard about you, which is what you are today. So
Yeah.
I would like you to share with us your professional journey, how you started off on your professional journey, and then we can have a glimpse later about your other aspects of life. Let's start with your professional journey first.
Okay, so my professional journey actually started many years ago. I started after graduation to work, but it was always um, I was not continuing in a job because I got married and got my children and so on. But I consider my professional journey actually from 2007, which is the part of the HR. And yes, since 2007, I got into the HR and I got promoted over the years to become the head of HR. And then something happened in 2021 after being head of department for around like 7 years. And a restructuring happened in the place I was working in. And I got a manager who came, and after 2 weeks exactly, she started telling me, I don't want you, and I'm
Mhm.
not convinced of your post now, and I don't need this in the structure of the department.
Mm.
And here, yes, from here, I started a journey of, I can say, depression, of sadness, of crying, of anxiety, everything,
Mm.
frustration, everything
Mm.
happened. And uh, in this part of my life, I was always used to express my sadness with being alone. I sit alone. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to eat. I don't want anything to happen. And I stayed like this for a while, but it didn't take me so long, thanks God, because I was also that person who loves life. So I don't like to stay sad for a long period. And I started to just watch motivational videos. And, you know, when God's plan takes you for another place, so the videos took me to watch some videos in energy. And I believe in energy. And then after that, I started a course in energy and then another one. And this was a real start for me to think, what do I want?
Mm.
And do you really love HR? And do you really want to continue in this journey of HR? Because if you love HR, you can apply in any other company. It's easy.
Absolutely.
So I started, no, I don't love HR. after having a pause, of course.
Yeah.
And yes, I started thinking really, what do I love to do?
Hmm.
And I started to reflect what I've been doing the last years. So before being an HR, I was a teacher and
Hmm.
I was an English instructor for adults in some of the centers. And what was common between my last job as a teacher and as an instructor and HR, and what made me really happy in all these jobs was that I loved to help others.
Hmm.
And from here, this was the common thing that I was searching for in every job. So I started to ask myself, what do you or what can you do in
Yes.
terms of helping others? And I remembered one of my friends, her sister, I saw her in a TV interview, and she was something like a happiness coach or something like that. So I said, yes, I want to be a happiness coach or a happiness ambassador or whatever. And especially that I have some friends who are calling me source of happiness minister or something like that.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Yes. So that is how your journey became, and you are now a happiness coach. Thank you so much for sharing that, Sama.
yes,
Now that we know about your professional journey, about how you became something which you were to the one which you really wanted to become. No,
yes,
because life takes us through this journey sometimes. That how we have sometimes we continue to live our life through what is expected of us, but then suddenly we realize that no, this is not what I really wanted to become in life. And then that pause happens, and that is what now we will be talking about. That what is that pause you were talking about, that reflection which happened, and how did it come about, and what is that major pause which happened in your life which really changed the whole direction of your life. Yeah, please share that.
okay. So it was like I told you when I started to watch the videos and when I started the energy course. So it led me to start to stop. You have to stop here and you have to really think, what do you want to do in your life?
Hmm,
What's your mission in your life? What do you
hmm,
want to actually do and you are happily doing it?
hmm.
And when I stopped here and I paused and I started to think and organize my thoughts, so it led me to that I want to be a happiness coach. So this was the major change. And this was the decision that is forming my life onwards now. Okay. And let me tell you that it didn't start to appear to me or to unfold to me until I accepted what has happened.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
so yes, when I accepted and I paused and I started to think wisely, not being into my emotions of sadness that my authorities were taken off from me or what has happened in the past, I started to really focus on what I want to be.
Hmm.
So
Actually,
from here, I chose the coaching, and from here, I started life coaching and mindfulness and happiness and all of that.
yes, yes. I have to just give me a pause. Is it gone? Yes, please. So this is how you have taken the pause, in which it was not a pause to regret. It was not a pause to belittle yourself. It was not a pause to just continuously feel that you are a victim of the situation, that you were just put out of your company. But you took that pause in a way which really made you a person who you really wanted to be. No, you
Yes,
upgraded yourself, you upskilled yourself, and then you chose a path which was very close to your heart.
Yes, absolutely. And because also it was a very hard choice. But yes, my pause helped me in making this choice. And this is what I really want to do because I was in my comfort zone. And the second thing is that I was 46 years old. So will I start something new? No.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
that
and
is the most important thing. Yes.
I have got this question from my son. He told me, "Are you going to study again?" So I told him, yes, I have no problem. And yes, pause puts you in the place of choice. You choose what you really want and what you're really convinced of and what you really appreciate. And the result is related to your values in life and related to what you really want to do.
Hmm. Absolutely. I totally agree with you, Sama. And anybody who is going to listen to these videos, I'm just sharing once again that what Sama is telling makes a lot of sense, that pause is the thing which gives you the choice. So you have been sitting probably for not even 1 year. Okay. The pause does not mean that you waited for 4, 5, 6, 7, or maybe 25 years like me, and then you came out. It could be just that one day, which really shifted your mindset. It shifted your the whole direction, or the whole you took a tangent, absolutely tangent of what were you doing. No, the whole trajectory of your life changed in that one day. Probably that itself was a pause. So never think that pause is something in my life which is going to stop me from doing what I am doing. It is something which will help you to do something which you really wanted to do. As Sama has now become a trainer, and she's a mindfulness and a happiness coach, and she is helping people to be happy, because it is her own happiness which brought her out of her own sadness. And she was sad only for very little time, she says.
Yeah. Right.
Yes. So, yeah, Sama, thank you so much for this beautiful thing which you have just shared with us. But I would also like you to tell about the teacher journey which you were telling about. No, how from a teacher you became an HR, and what brought about that change in your life that you had to, again, because you love teaching the adults and everything, and you took up a job in HR at that time in your life.
Yeah. Okay, so I love teaching since I was a child. And when I was a child, I always said I want to be a teacher, but I didn't know why. And it was just like maybe I love my teachers, so I want to be a teacher and that stuff. But yes, I was a teacher, and it was at that time, it was imposed on me that I will be a teacher. It was not totally my choice, but it was a choice due to some situations because my kids were still young, and I wanted to do something that I love and at the same time, which is suitable for having kids and have to go home early and that stuff. And HR at that time in Egypt was not very well known in every place. And but I had a friend who was working in HR, and she used to tell me about what she's doing. So I just listened to her, and this was ongoing, and I stopped teaching at some time, and I was married at that time. And then I got into the phase of we were discussing about divorce. And from here, one someone told me that there is a vacancy in a place, and this vacancy requires no experience in the HR. So I applied for it because it was also at that time I was, like I said, we were in the space of negotiating, shall we be divorced, not divorced, what will happen. And it was a sort of I went at the time to a psychiatrist, and she told me you must work because you're a hyperactive person and you must work, you must do something for even for yourself. So I chose to go for an interview in the HR, and I went to work at that time. And at that time I have to choose between either to continue working or to get divorced.
Yeah.
And life was, yes, and life was tough at that time. It was his he wanted this. He wanted either to just work and go continue in the HR job or to stay at home. So to stay in home and stay married. So I wanted divorce because I was not happy in my life. And it's not because anything that's related to the person, but it was related to myself. So I started to think about it and what shall I do? Shall I continue in the HR or not? Or shall I just stay at home? And I decided, no, I want to work. I want to do something that is useful for me, that is that will make me happy, that will make me feeling that I am doing something useful to other people too. So I chose to work in the HR at that time. And
Yes.
maybe this is why when the shift happened in 2021, I didn't regret working in the HR, although I don't like it. But I liked in the HR, for example, the part of the recruitment and training because it's communicating with people. And I love
Yeah.
communication with people. So I chose this, and that's why I didn't regret it later. And it was
Absolutely.
that, yes, that time that I took to think wisely, what do I want? Do I want to just continue in my life, or I want to go for the job? And
Yes.
I chose to go for the job, and it continued like that.
Yes. Yes. So that was another pause. We can say that was another kind of a pause where you self-reflected and you chose life.
Yes.
You didn't choose a job, you choose life.
Yes.
That is what I can see
Absolutely.
from here, and I can just say that it was a decision between a person who will be not happy, and a person who is not happy is like dead, and a person who is living is actually happy. So
Although when I was married, it was a luxurious life. I was living luxurious life, and I was living. Um, I was not sad, but it was some differences that made me feel I'm not uh, into this. I don't want this to turn into fights, and then something bad happens. I want my life to be peaceful. So what will make my life peaceful? That I will be alone, even if I am not going to live this luxurious life, even I'm not going to be supported by someone. I will handle it. I will manage my life. And I chose to go for it. Yeah.
yes. So again, reiterating that you choose life over anything which is the material, which is not going to give you happiness. So again, we when we are happiness coaches like you and me, we know that happiness is nothing getting from any material things. We can
Yes.
never get happiness from things, from people, from places, because happiness lies within. And if I am happy inside, doing what I'm doing, then that can be the best state of life. And that is what you were able to choose. Thank you so much, Samah, for sharing your vulnerable moments here. I'm sure a lot of people will be inspired and they will try to choose wisely as you have taken this kind of a decision. So yes, coming to your post pause. So after the pause, which was happened in 21 or probably the year long back, post pause, how have you evolved as a person? How you are able to bring to the society and to yourself that happiness for which you are taking the training and which you are teaching people in workplace and in other places also. Please share about that.
Okay. So it was like I said, that it was because I made this pause and I was totally convinced that this is the right decision for me and this is what I want to do. So this helped me a lot, that I want to do something for myself and I want to be happy. I want to live a peaceful life. I want to help others. So this always motivates me to do more and to study more and to go for more knowledge and ask for more and do many things that I'm doing now. They're not my comfort zone. Okay, so something like the Instagram page or something like that. I'm not in the comfort zone when I'm posting videos, for example. I don't like to stay in front of a camera and talk to people. Maybe yes, I like to communicate with others, but real people, I don't like to look to the camera. So this is out of my comfort zone. So yes, doing things that are out of my comfort zone, they are helping me to open up in many areas and to many areas, sorry. And at the same time, they are giving me different experiences and different exposure to things that I'm not used to do in my life.
Yes.
So yes, so it affected everything, every step that I'm taking now, and every step that is originally due to that pause that happened. I'm enjoying it. I'm happily doing it. I'm learning from every experience.
Yes.
Yes, I'm doing maybe some mistakes in some experiences, but I just take them as an experience. And whenever I get sad that I didn't do this well or something like that, I start telling myself it's a new learning. It's your something new. So, and that's how I'm evolving in every step I'm taking and how I'm happy with every step I'm taking, every new step, even if it's out of my comfort zone, but it's making me really happy.
Amazing, amazing. I can also share something like that here, Sama, that when I started in 2020 and the Zoom was absolutely new for me.
Yeah.
Like technology was, I had never sat in front of the laptop for giving any online session at that moment, but that is how we learned. Like 2020 was a great learner for in many aspects of life. It taught us resilience, it taught us technology, especially
Yeah.
to homemakers who were there and we didn't know anything about that. You were still working, but I was a homemaker and I had no idea of technology in that aspect. Yes, I was able to browse and that's about it.
Yeah.
But then I have learned everything to making the website on my own and playing with Canva now, which is like a left hand thing now. I can do anything on Canva now. It's so beautifully. Other day, somebody was asking, why don't you take a class on Canva? I said, okay. So, yeah, so you have become really pro in technology now, all because we are seeking persons, because we are ready to learn. And
Yes.
learning has no age. That is what I can tell all the women here, that never stop yourself to learn something new. Because every time you're learning something new, you are upgrading yourself. You are again giving you that one power which will help you to come up and it will be add to your growth. So keep growing, keep shining. That is what we can say in Talk. And if you really want to come here and share your own story, you are most welcome. You can connect with me. So, Sama, it was really wonderful to have you here and to listen to your pause stories. I'm sure a lot of women will be inspired with your grit and determination, the way you have chosen life and you have chosen peace for yourself. I will
Thank you.
now request you to share one message for the audience.
Okay. So my message is that always believe in God's plan because it's always the best for you. So whenever something goes wrong and it's God's plan or it's life unfolding with something new, so believe that this is the best for you and accept it as it is. And from this acceptance and this belief in yourself, just go with the flow. And
Yes.
this will be the most amazing thing that might happen to you.
Amazing. So superb. So it is important to surrender. When we surrender to the divine, we are going to get which is the thing is best for us. That is what I got from you, Sama, and I will keep that to my heart. Thank you so much for
Thank you,
coming
Mike.
here and sparing your time. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Bye.